Hello and welcome back to another epic match of StarCraft. My name is Rob and these levels look too low. Hello and welcome back to another epic match of StarCraft. This time we have got P7GAB, the Protoss player. I don't know how I pronounce that. I've only casted one game of his before and I haven't heard anyone else cast, so I don't know how to pronounce it. Versus It's from Airforce Ace. And sorry, this game is a bit old. It's probably about a week old, but watching the games on Tuesday night, they were good games, but there was nothing awe-inspiring or epic, so I am casting this game because it is a bit older, and this is from the epic match that was between Ace and KT that was played last week. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I casted one of the games. I casted Flash versus Stardust out of that matchup, but all 5 games in that series were quite epic, and this is another one I am covering. So I don't know much about these players, so I don't do much research on Team Liquid. The only things I know from what other commentators have said. I followed the scene past 3 or 4 years. I don't read much on Team Liquid, although I probably should to increase my skills. But I do know that P7GAB, I recasted one of his games, lost to Bisu. We've got an early probe coming out here. Actually, it's probably just going to be an early scout, but I think it's usually an earlier timing than usual, as P7GAB just gets his pylon down at the front. But no, P7GAB did get one game where he just got absolutely cannon rushed by Bisu on the back side of his minerals. I think I casted that game. That was one of my early games. My technology wasn't good then, so the microphone's probably not as good. But yes, getting absolutely cannon rushed there. So, see what strategy he comes up with today, as we've got the Zerg player It's in the bottom left corner, just going for a quick expansion there. I didn't see whether he got his spawning pool down or not, but the timing suggests he probably hasn't, as we've got the scouting probe coming in for P7GAB. And I think I'm just going to call him P7GAB. And we see the program at the top there. Is he going to cheese? And yes, it looks like it is on. We have a pylon being warped in out front of It's natural expansion. Probably going to put some cannons up here. So an early attack going on. P7GAB getting cannon rushed by BC. Now he's doing it against the Zerg. But it looks like he's going to get scouted there. 2 early drones coming off, possibly to scout. They're going to see that the probage wedged itself between the pylon and the cannon. But he morphs one of the drones into this extractor there. And yes, he gets it through the gap there. So now his drone is wedged through that gap. Creative thinking there as he tries to wedge another probe through, but it looks like we've got 2 cannons going down, 1 cannon going down, getting re-warped in at the moment. That drone kind of attacking that probe there. If he gets the probe down, he can stop all future cannons from coming up there. So very creative response there as we see 2 cannons coming down, and if he can take 3 cannons on the way now, so it's under a lot of early pressure here, and if he can get his first hatch up, he can probably build down a sunk. He's still got no spawning pool out, so he's got no lings to deal with this. So another cannon getting defeated, but more cannons coming up there. So another pylon and more cannons going down there. Those pylons just like squeezing them in behind the gaps there. Another one going down there. So it's so far doing a good job of taking down the cannons. 2 cannons going down, but with the first cannon coming up, it's going to take some shots at that hatchery, but we do have a sunken colony going up there. That cannon's going to take a while to take down that hatch, but if he takes down the hatch, you would have to feel that it is GG there. So the probe just being annoying. We've got a sunken coming in. It's not wasting any time. He is mining as we see some Zerglings finally coming out now. He's got his pool down. So the Zergling's coming up around the side there to take out that cannon, but he's in a well-defended position. It can't get us around, and looks like all those Zerglings go down there, but the sunken going to take off where it finishes, and sunken takes down that cannon, and now another cannon being warped in by P7GAB, so he's committing to the attack, but no, that next cannon goes down there. It's just 1 cannon, and it's a range battle at the moment. The sunken can only attack the pylon, and the cannon can only attack the hatch here, so it's going to be a bit of a race of time, and I think the Zerg player will get this because the hatch looks like it does have a lot of HP as those Zerglings spawn. It's being smart and still mining in this time here, and I think this early cheese is going to, yes, as that goes down, the cannon is deactivated, so it's surviving the early cheese there. P7GAB with a cannon rush there probably would have worked, but it got scouted, and it's with some creative defense there, kind of glitching the drone through the gap there, and that was a pretty good, well-prepared cannon rush too, because he picked really good positions where the cannons were kind of surrounded, so the Zerg couldn't attack from all sides here. So I'm not quite sure who's ahead. I think P7GAB invested quite a lot into that attack there, but It's did lose a few drones, but I'm going to say It's does have a slight advantage in this game here. As we go back to P7's base, his response is to just get his expansion up and just put his front door down there as a normal Protoss player would. So P7GAB acting like nothing's happened as It's gets down his 3rd expansion. as we break into another lull after some early excitement there. That Sunken Colony, so far it's got the Player of the Match award, saving the day, or possibly Itz's probe could have the Player of the Match award if that rush was successful. Unfortunately it wasn't, so one Zealot going out, just going to do some scout there, and there's Flash, and spoiler alert, he lost in this set. Watch that game, Stardust versus Flash. It's a great game. Sorry if I spoiled that for anyone, but it is 10 days old. So we see one Zealot there just being a nuisance in the middle of the map, getting his second gas down, going to be working on some more tech, as we just see some more scouting probes go around the map there. A few Zerglings out. Doesn't have speed yet, as we see the compulsory Stargate going down there. Just going to do some Overlord harass and get some scouts in as well, just in case the Zerg goes for a Hydra bust. It's always good to know if that is happening. So as we see there, the great tactic of one Zergling chasing the probe while the other ones kind of dance around it, try and select it down. Two Zealots there just marching around aimlessly and still chasing that probe here. So both players now just continuing to macro and do the things they were going to do normally if that rush wasn't going to happen there. So two Zealots just doing some exploring around the base there, just checking that there's not any Zerglings outside the base. There's still only one cannon up there, so P7GAB feeling fairly safe there, hiding behind his wall of one cannon, as we see another hatch going down and a Hydralisk den. So I'm not sure. I think Itz is going to be reaching the peak of his macro here, possibly going to be producing some Hydras and attack that front door, or he could just be macroing up. We shall see. So second gate going down, Citadel going down, going to be working on his Templar tech, or he could be going for a speed Zealot attack, but that is unlikely in this case, I think. As we see, yes, the fourth hatch, well, yeah, I already said that, it's going down. Corsair out now, just going to be doing some scouting here, no skirt. As we see the first Hydra actually leaving the base here, so this could be an early attack there. It probably is going to get scouted by that probe, but he's keen to send his first Hydras up and probably assassinate that front door. This season we've been seeing a lot of front door snipes. They don't really push it home, but they definitely make sure they take out that first gateway and that first forge, because the Hydralisks outrange the cannons there. So yes, the Hydralisks do have speed, so it looks like this attack is going to go through there as P7GAB takes down one Overlord, bringing some Hydralisks up there to defend, but it looks like he's going to commit to some front door harass here with the speed upgrade. So first cannon going down there. So P7GAB knows he's in a bit of trouble at the front door. He knows the pressure is coming, but he does have a decent army of Zealots there, but they're going to get pushed back behind that wall, and possibly that cannon is going to save him. Yes, he's just going to hide out the front there and take down the wall. So taking down the forge at the moment, that forge is spinning, so he possibly will lose his +1 attack upgrade. So front door attack coming down now, and you can see P7GAB's desperation there. He's building more cannons, more pylons, but he does have a decent line of Zealots at the moment as well, and this is where Protoss is weak, because they've got to get their tech up before they can push out there. They have to hide behind their front door there. So at the moment it's just that line of Zealots which is protecting him from an all-out Hydra assault there, as just one Corsair. Just going to be annoying, no major harassment going on there. He's got his two Sloverlords at the front there just in case the DTs come out, and two gateways going down there. He's rebuilding his forge. Protoss player is going to need more gateways to get up a bigger army to defend off this pressure. He's just being contained at the moment, and the Zerg could out-expand here. So I don't know what it should do. It's up to him whether he decides to just crazily expand or he decides to push this home, but looking by all the troops that are coming, he's going to decide to push this home. A lot of the time, players that aren't the best do try to rely on more aggressive strategies rather than their all-out macro strategies. So it looks like Itz feels that he's ahead and he's going to try and push this here. It's just a question of time. Does he push? And if he does, he probably should do it before the Templars come out, because High Templars are the great equalizer and they just storm the swarm, which Zerg's big skill is just having lots and lots of units getting in the way there, and the storm just decimates them. So units getting in position now, just kind of microing them. More cannons going up here, and I'd have to feel the attack is on, just sending two Zerglings in there, possibly to scout, although I don't know what he can't see there, but he's just seeing the cannons are a few, 2 lines deep here, and more coming, so you've got to feel that Itz is committing to this attack here, and 2 Templars coming up now as well. Is he going to snipe them? The attack is on now, so he's got the Zerglings coming in the front there, a line of Hydras, but unfortunately in that narrow choke there's a lot of Hydras in the back doing nothing. Zerglings going in the front, Hydras at the back just being absolutely crazy. This is probably bad efficiency there. The 2 Templars there, he needs to try to snipe them before they get the storm off. Again, Hydras at the back just not not being able to get in there. If he could surround this, he could take this down, but that narrow choke just absolutely being devastating. Zealot's there in the front. He's trying to focus down the cannons. The Templars are still there as a threat, and his Hydra's kind of doing alright there, but he's lost a few of them, down to a few Zealots, but the cannon's still in place. The Templars still in place here, and you got to think that P7GAB has defended this. He's got a few more Hydras at the front there, but he committed a lot of resources to that attack and did not gain hardly anything. Took out a few Zealots, but the cannons and the Templars are still there, and P7GAB has a big advantage in this matchup, and there's not much ITS can do to get back in the game. He just has to commit there, not even dodging that storm there, and his High Templars, Dark Templars are just going to get attacked there. So a bit of lazy play there from ITS, and to get back in the game, all ITS can do is crazily expand or commit to this attack, and finally getting his lair down, so possibly going to go for maybe a lurker contain, but we shall see. If I was ITS, I don't know if I could press this home. I probably would decide to expand, but it's a hard call, because when you're in a massive disadvantage, you have to do something crazy to try and get back in the game there. So he's got to expand or just try and press this home, do significant damage to P7GAB's economy here, and he's getting the gas down, so it looks like he might be macroing up there, getting another gas, taking up to lair, and that front door does look like it's going to be pretty hard to break through with all those Templar there. I'm sure they've all got their storms up now. A few Hydras at the front there. The Zealots pushing out at the moment, running away, so P7GAB at the moment has the superior army, just going to take that position there on his front ramp, possibly so he can expand up to his other expansion. 6 gateways now, and you got to feel that Protoss is in a good position where he can comfortably leave the base there. So Sunken Colony going down there. No, Spire finally going up as well. It's going to get some Scourge out, possibly some Mutalisks to snipe the Templar as the army comes in at the moment. And what does ITS have in response? I know Zerg can generate an army very quickly, and here they come, but at the moment it's not looking that promising. Some Hydralisks coming up from the backside, just absolutely walking through the storm, walking through another storm, and another storm. Those storms being absolutely devastating, just taking out that whole army before he's even had a chance to attack, taking out that one Templar. And man, am I getting messed up with my words today. More Hydralisks coming in, getting absolutely stormed, and this match just shows you how devastating Storm can be versus the Zerg. High Templar is probably one of the best units versus Zerg at the moment. Getting down some Sunkens there to defend. Sunkens are quite good defense against the Storms at the moment, but P7GAB at the moment with nothing. No, sorry, ITS at the moment with nothing there. P7GAB with the army, and you've got to feel that this is GG. Poor timing attack there by ITS, and P7GAB is going to be attacking his front door there. He's got some Sunkens and some Hydralisks there. Maybe the narrow choke will actually play in ITS's favor this time. But no, which expansion is going to attack there? He's just sitting in the middle. Another storm going down, being absolutely devastating, taking out all those Hydras. And yes, he's going to attack this space here, taking down the Sunks with his army. Going to walk through that Zergling SimCity, and there comes the GG. So, interesting game there. Crazy rush strategy at the start there by P7GAB. Haven't seen that in a while. It's defending really well, but following up with a dodgy attack. It may have worked, but that narrow choke just absolutely dominating him. All those Hydras at the back were just doing nothing, being crazy there. So, well done to P7GAB for winning that game.